Hello everyone, good afternoon. So continuing with APM revision revolution, the previous lecture which happened on Saturday, हम लोग ने किया क्वेश्चन 1 और 2। मैंने आपको बोला था कि हम लोग टोटल 4 क्वेश्चंस करने वाले हैं ऑफ सेक्शन बी। तो अभी हम लोग द रिमेनिंग 2 क्वेश्चंस जो है वो करने वाले हैं ऑफ सेक्शन बी। सो लेट्स बिगिन द रिमेनिंग क्वेश्चंस। पहले तो सबसे पहले जब भी आप क्वेश्चन पढ़ो तो पहले रिक्वायरमेंट पढ़ो। Required. It is now 1 September 20x5. Respond to the board of SGALT's request to work on the following areas. It is for 20 marks. The effect of ethical issues on the manufacturing decision and how EMA will help SGALT. And according to our new format, professional marks will be awarded for the demonstration of skills in analysis, evaluation, skepticism, and commercial acumen. So that is for professional skills, wherein you have 5 marks. Professional skills के marks आपको तब मिलेंगे जब आप पहले के जो 20 मार्क है वो अच्छे से आंसर करो. If you answer the 20 marks properly, that is how you get the additional 5 marks for answering the 20 marks. Now let's read the question. Exhibit 1 is company information. SGALT is a large company listed on the J-Land Stock Exchange. Its main objective is to maximize the long-term wealth of its shareholders. The largest shareholder is a pension fund which only invests in companies which behave ethically towards the shareholders. How important is it for companies to behave ethically towards the shareholders? It is important, right? All companies listed in J-Land must produce an annual corporate sustainability report, that is CSR. SGALT manufactures a diverse range of chemicals ranging from those for use in industrial process to household detergents and cleaning products. SGALT is a well-known and trusted brand in J-Land. Many of its household products command premium prices because they use ingredients and manufacturing processes which cause less harm to the environment than those of competitors. Then Exhibit 2 says K-Land Manufacturing Plant. As a part of a wider strategy, SGALT plans to produce a new product, chemical K, which will require the building of a new manufacturing plant. So they want to produce a new chemical K. The company is always manufactured in J-Land, that is a place where they normally manufacture. But in order to increase business performance, the board is considering whether to build a new plant overseas at a site identified K-Land. So overseas means an abroad place, which is K-Land. They have identified a site in K-Land. Due to high unemployment in K-Land, labor costs are low there. In K-Land is a very poor country and यहाँ पे labor cost बहुत कम है, तो काम सस्ते में हो जाएगा. Okay. Environmental regulations are also less strict than in J-Land. K-Land is a hot, dry country where there is often insufficient water available to meet the needs of population and their livestock. तो वहाँ पे पानी का भी problem है, वहाँ पे labor भी cheap है. It's a hot and dry country, so basically K-Land is poorer than J-Land, okay, and they want to start the production of this new chemical K at K-Land. SGALT's largest shareholder, the pension fund, is aware that the company lacks experience in operating outside J-Land. Because of this, the shareholder is concerned that the board may pay insufficient attention to the impact of ethical issues on both strategy formulation and business performance when taking the decision when to manufacture in K-Land. The board has asked for your advice on ethical issues that may affect the decision to manufacture in K-Land. Environmental impact of chemical K. The manufacture of chemical K would consume large volumes of water taken from a nearby river. अगर आप chemical K को manufacture करते हो K land में, तो it will take a large volume of water. So you are taking a lot of water from the river, which is not a sin, but again you cannot take more than what is apportioned to you. It's like अगर मैं एक नया स्विमिंग पूल बना दूँ मेरे घर के बाहर और मैं मेरे वेल से वो रिफ़िल करूँ, तो आइडियली वो वेल मेरा है, मैं उसमें से पानी ले सकती हूँ. बट बिकॉज ऑफ टेकिंग सो मच वाटर आउट फ्रॉम द वेल and putting it in the pool for my leisure, the entire water in that area, the groundwater level goes down. And when the groundwater level goes down, and if it's a summer season, other people might get affected. So that I cannot do. I can only use the value that much. I can only use the water that is allocated to me. Even if it's my personal well from which I'm refilling the swimming pool, I need to be conscious of my decisions. Because अगर मैं मेरा स्विमिंग पूल रीफिल करती हूँ तो जो ग्राउंड वाटर लेवल है वो कम हो जाता है. जिनका वेल्स आर नॉट वेरी डीप उनको प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा. पीपल हु आर कम्प्लीटली डिपेंडेंट ऑन वेल वाटर, ओके, जिनके पास वो पाइप्ड वाटर अभी तक आया नहीं है. So to comply with limited environmental regulations in KLM, some of this water would be used to dilute a toxic waste product. Waste product A, WPA, which arises from the manufacturing process. The diluted waste product A would then be discharged back into the nearby river. So just imagine, आप ज़्यादा पानी भी इस्तेमाल कर रहे हो और आप पानी में वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट भी डाल रहे हो, so that nobody else in the future can use the river water. The diluted waste product A would then be discharged back into the nearby river. The discharge of waste product A into the river is not permitted in SGOLT's home country of J-land. क्यों ये अलाउड नहीं है J-land में और फिर आप ये K-land में करने का सोच रहे हो? J-land में अलाउड नहीं है because there is some scientific evidence that contact with waste product A may cause serious long-term health problems to people. तो आप क्या करते हो? पहले तो आप अपने शेयर से ज़्यादा पानी रिवर में से यूज़ करते हो टू मैन्युफैक्चर द प्रोडक्ट के, दैट इज़ द केमिकल के, और फिर जो ये सब केमिकल्स है, वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट है उसके बनाने का, उसको फिर से रिवर में डंप कर रहे हैं. And this dumping of waste in river is not allowed in your home country J-land because they have proof that it causes serious long-term health problems to people which may not become apparent for many years. बहुत साल लोगों को पता ही नहीं चलेगा कि उनको slowly वो affect कर रहा है. So it's like a slow poison to people. Production of chemical K would cease after 10 years and the plant must be decommissioned. मतलब 10 साल के बाद ये प्रोडक्ट बनाने के बाद we'll be done with it, फिर हम लोग बंद कर देंगे and the plant को हम लोग ब्रेक कर देंगे. The plant will be decommissioned. बट उसके बाद भी वो जो एरिया है जहाँ पे आपका प्लांट था इन केलन, the site would remain contaminated with harmful chemicals for many years after decommissioning. मतलब मैं ब्रेक जब करती हूँ ये प्लांट आफ्टर 10 years, आफ्टर दैट ऑल्सो सो मेनी ईयर्स दिस साइट इज़ गोइंग टू बी रिमेनिंग कंटामिनेटेड अनलेस अ सेपरेट क्लीनिंग ऑपरेशन इज़ अंडरटेकन. सो जब तक आप एक सेपरेट क्लीनिंग ऑपरेशन वहाँ पे नहीं करोगे, इवन आफ्टर ब्रेकिंग द साइट ऑल्सो दिस साइट इज़ कंटिन्यूइंग टू रिमेन कंटामिनेटेड. तो इतना हार्मफुल है ये साइट, इसलिए आप ये अपने होम कंट्री में नहीं कर रहे हो. और केलैंड ऐसा ही गरीब कंट्री है तो वहाँ पे आप करने का सोच रहे हो. सो यू आर लिटरली पॉइजनिंग पीपल्स लाइफ्स देयर. पहले तो आप सस्ते में लेबर कर रहे हो, फिर आप ज़रूरत से ज़्यादा पानी यूज़ करोगे तो दूसरों को पानी का प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा. फिर आप पानी यूज़ करोगे और वो केमिकल बनाने के बाद जो वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट है उसको फिर से रिवर में डंप करोगे. ओके, एंड इन योर होम कंट्री दिस डंपिंग ऑफ केमिकल्स इज़ प्रोहिबिटेड बिकॉज इट इज़ प्रूव दैट इट हैज़ लॉन्ग टर्म हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम्स टू पीपल, जो उनको धीरे धीरे समझ में आएगा. तो J-land के लोग नहीं मरने चाहिए, K-land के मरे तो भी हमको कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता, इज़ योर एटीट्यूड. ओके, फिर उसके बाद क्या है, द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ केमिकल के जो आप अंडरटेक कर रहे हो इन K-land, इट इज़ गोइंग टू सीज मीन्स गेट ओवर आफ्टर 10 years and the site will be decommissioned, the site will be broken off. But after breaking off of the site also, जो वो land है जहाँ पे ये site है, it's going to remain contaminated for many years after that, unless you undertake a separate cleaning operation to clean it. समझा आपको ये वाला exhibit? फिर environmental management accounting, the next exhibit. It has been suggested that SGOLTER uses environmental management accounting to improve business performance. Environmental management accounting is the identification, collection, and analysis of information related to the physical and financial impact of an organization's activities on the environment. What is environmental management accounting? Identification, collection, and analysis of information related to the physical and financial impact on an organization's activities on the environment. The board wants your advice on how EMA will help SGOLTER in the following 4 areas. EMA कैसे help करेगा SGOLTER को? It will calculating cost by doing investment appraisal, by setting performance measures and targets, and by doing product pricing. In relation to investment appraisal के लिए we use NPV, IRR, MIRR, ये सब हम लोग ने FR में पढ़ा है. So in relation to investment appraisal, the board calculated that net present value of the proposal to manufacture chemical K in K-land is $240 million compared to $200 million if the manufacturing was done in J-land. So NPV K-land में 240 है, J-land में 200 है. Normally what we are taught, select the project with the highest NPV. So the NPV is more in K-land. It has since been identified that the cost of decommissioning the plant and cleaning the site were not included in this calculation. तो हमको उसको include करना पड़ेगा in these calculations. So the board has now begun the work of estimating the present value of the cost of decommissioning and cleaning the 2 possible sites. This is what is required of you, and this is an appendix that is given. Present value of the costs of decommissioning the plant and cleaning the site. So decommissioning the plant cost in J-land is 20 and cleaning the site is 60. The total cost is 80. K-land का सिर्फ decommissioning the plant का रेट है हमारे पास, cleaning the site का रेट अभी तक नहीं है, and decommissioning the plant का रेट है 30. But there are 2 adjustments that are given. The board has estimated that because of logistical difficulties due to K-land being 8,000 kilometers from J-land, decommissioning cost would not include the cost of cleaning the site, and it would be 50% higher than in J-land. The cost of cleaning the site in J-land is 60. 60 plus 50% of 60 will be in K-land. So 60 का 50% कितना हुआ? 30. So 60 plus 50% of 60. So 60 plus 30, that is 90. So cleaning of the site cost in K-land would be 90. The board has not yet estimated the cost of cleaning the site in K-land, though because of the same logistical difficulties which apply to decommissioning cost of cleaning the site in K-land will also be higher than in J-land. So obviously it's 50% higher is what we just saw. So let's start the answer. It is now 1 September 20x5. Respond to the board of SGOLTER's request for work on the following areas. So first, let's do some work on effect of ethical issues on the manufacturing decision. So this is the manufacturing decision, the manufacturing plant, and the manufacturing problem that is going to appear. And on these problems, you give the effect of ethical issues on manufacturing decision. The effect of ethical issues on the manufacturing decision. So third question, A part. The effect of issues on the manufacturing decision. 1 second. No? Okay. So first one is strategy formulation, the effect of issues on the strategy formulation. First of all, every business that is being taken into consideration should behave according to the society, because we are doing business for the society, and if we want to maintain our name in the society, we have to behave ethically, because nowadays the investors have become very environmental conscious. They don't want to invest in companies that harm the environment, rather they want to invest in companies जो कि environment का भला चाहते हैं. तो उनको ऐसे चाहिए ही नहीं कि आप ऐसे करो कि harming the environment, not properly looking after the environment. They don't want all of this, and in case if you're doing it, then you're doing it absolutely wrong, and in case if you're doing it for the environment, then it is absolutely wrong, because ultimately what the public is concerned is कि आप बिजनेस भी करो और आप एनवायरनमेंट का भी भला करो. आप ऐसे मत करो कि आप बिजनेस करो लेकिन एनवायरनमेंट को आप हार्म करो. यू डू गुड टू द बिजनेस ऑल्सो, यू डू गुड टू द पीपल ऑल्सो, यू अर्न प्रॉफिट ऑल्सो, यू ट्राई टू इम्प्रूव द सोसाइटी ऑल्सो. ऐसे जो बिजनेसेस होते हैं उनमें सोसाइटी का इंटरेस्ट बहुत ज़्यादा होता है. ऐसे जो बिजनेसेस होते हैं कि जस्ट वी आर जस्ट मेकिंग मनी, सोसाइटी को मरना है मरने दो, उनको पल्यूट होना है होने दो, उनको जो होना है होने दो, हमको कोई नहीं करना, हमको सिर्फ अपना बिजनेस करना है. सच कंपनीज इन द लॉन्ग रन डोंट सर्वाइव, बिकॉज देन people don't like to invest in such companies, and people don't like buying products of these companies. अभी आप ही एक एग्जाम्पल ले लो. We use toothpaste daily, we use the chai patti daily. The brand that makes your chai patti, if you come to know that if that chai company or your toothpaste company is a very bad company, they're harming the environment, they're very greedy, they're just concerned about the profit, उनको कोई लेना देना नहीं है कि सोसाइटी को की क्या हालत होती है, will you buy a product of that particular brand? On the other hand, if you know that there is a particular brand of chai patti or there is a particular brand of toothpaste जो कि लोगों के लिए बहुत अच्छा कर रहा है, उनका ब्रांड भी अच्छा है, वो they are investing a lot on the education of the children in lower classes, lower poorer areas. फिर वो लोग environment का बहुत ज़्यादा ख्याल रखते हैं. उनकी सब जो प्रोसेसेस है वो इको फ्रेंडली है. अगर बाई चांस थोड़ा बहुत भी पोल्यूशन कर लिया तो दे मेक अप फॉर इट. फॉर एवरी सम टन्स ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड रिलीज दे प्लांट 100 ट्रीज. ऐसा कोई तो उनका मतलब दे हैव इट इन देयर लिस्ट, लाइक हम लोग ऐसे करेंगे तो विल मेक अप फॉर इट, विल ट्राई आवर बेस्ट टू मिनिमाइज आवर इम्पैक्ट ऑन द एनवायरनमेंट एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट. तो यू वुड ऑल्सो लव ये कंपनी जो करे बहुत अच्छा करे. आई ऑल्सो वॉन्ट टू सपोर्ट द कंपनी, एंड माई वे टू सपोर्ट द कंपनी इज टू बाइंग देयर प्रोडक्ट्स, राइट. सो एंड नाउअडेज पीपल आर एडुकेटेड. लाइक वो ज़माना गया जहाँ पे लोग एडुकेटेड नहीं थे, उनको ऐसे कोई समझ नहीं थी कि ये जो कंपनी है वो सोसाइटी के लिए अच्छी कर रही है या ये कंपनी नहीं कर रही, क्योंकि तभी के ज़माने में लोगों को एडुकेशन नहीं था, तो लोगों को पता नहीं था. आज एवरीबडी इज़ एडुकेटेड, वी कैन रीड. If some company is doing wrong to the public, तो वो पेपर में आता है, we can read, and when we read it, वो that affects us also. Even if that company has not directly affected us, but indirectly हमको वो affect होता है कि वो कंपनी ने वो सेक्शन ऑफ सोसाइटी के साथ गलत किया था. तो अगर वी रीड इट इन द न्यूज़ पेपर, इट समवेयर अफेक्ट्स अस ऑल्सो. फिर हम भी ठान लेते हैं कि हम भी उस कंपनी का प्रोडक्ट बिल्कुल बाय नहीं करेंगे, बिकॉज दैट इज़ 100% अनएथिकल कंपनी. इवन इफ दैट कंपनी हैज़ डिस्टर्ब्ड अ सेक्शन ऑफ द सोसाइटी जिनका आपसे कोई भी लेना देना नहीं है, फिर भी यू वुड वांट टू इनकॉर्पोरेट कि मैं इनका प्रोडक्ट बाय नहीं करूँगा कि मैंने पढ़ा है वो लोगों की कहानी जिनको ये कंपनी ने अफेक्ट किया, एंड मुझे नहीं लगता ये मेरे उसूलों के खिलाफ है कि मैं उनका प्रोडक्ट इस्तेमाल करूँ। उससे अच्छा है कि मैं कोई और ब्रांड का ले लूँ। And if some brand is doing very good to the society, they're providing education to unprivileged people, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're not harming the society, eco-friendly products, ये वो, I'll also be very happy. और उनका अगर 2 पैसा ज़्यादा भी हुआ, I would love to buy their product because they're doing so much to the society. If you book a movie ticket via Book My Show, it charges 1 rupee per ticket to contribute smile on face of underprivileged people. So that smile can be in a way of anything. Maybe they will give them some gift, or they will give them some chocolate or whatever to the unprivileged people. अभी आप बोलो कि 1 rupee is a very small amount. If you're booking a movie ticket, तो वैसे भी हमारा कितना खर्चा होता है, उसमें अगर 4 टिकट के पीछे 4 रुपया जाता है, then what's the problem? Like 4 rupees is nothing for one person who is booking movie tickets, right? Because if the person is booking movie tickets via Book My Show, that means he has money. Otherwise he would never watch a movie if he was a very poor person. So like that, you know, this big companies like Book My Show, और ये सिर्फ एक एग्जाम्पल था, ऐसे बहुत सारे कंपनीज है that charge you money, they take money from you like 1 rupee, 2 rupee, जो एकदम negligible होता है, and with that they do something very big, contributing smiles on the face of people types वैसे. We also like supporting such companies that okay, please, we would love if you contribute a smile on somebody's face, because for me to go and contribute smile on somebody's face बहुत पैसा लगेगा. But if we all come together via one company, Book My Show, and सब हम लोग अगर 1-1, 2-2 रुपया दे देंगे, तो maybe they can do something very big. So that is an initiative, and we love to participate in such initiatives जहाँ पे हम सब एक साथ आके ये we can, you know, help somebody. The first is strategy formulation. Business ethics relates to behavior expected by society. But not codified by law. और ये जब ये सब जो बिहेवियर होता है ना, कि ऐसे करो, बड़ों के साथ अच्छे से बात करो, किसी का इंसल्ट मत करो जस्ट बिकॉज दे आर फ्रॉम अ डिफरेंट सेक्शन ऑफ द सोसाइटी, ये कोई लॉ की बात नहीं होती है, सिर्फ प्योरली बिहेवियर एक्सपेक्टेड बाय द सोसाइटी होता है, कॉमन सेंस की बात होती है. किसी भी लॉ में नहीं लिखा है कि आपको एक दूसरे के साथ अच्छे से बात करनी है. किसी भी लॉ में नहीं लिखा है कि you have to treat people well who work for you. It is a part of your behavior which is expected by the society. सोसाइटी का ये आपसे एक्सपेक्टेशन है कि आप सबसे अच्छे से बात करें, आप सबको वो इज्जत दे. ऐसा नहीं है कि somebody who is rich only I will give more prominence, and somebody who is doing my work, maybe a cleaner in my office or somebody, I will not talk to him properly. So ये ethics जो है वो किसी बुक में नहीं है, किसी भी लॉ में नहीं है. It is a behavior, it is common sense which is expected from you by the society. Developing strategies which demonstrate high standards of ethical behavior, for example, towards the environment, will help create long-term sustainable competitive advantage. This is because stakeholders may react negatively to poor ethical behavior. As I told you, if the company does bad to somebody else, not to us, but we read it in the newspaper, we are going to react to it. Because stakeholders may react negatively to poor ethical behavior. हमको ऐसे पसंद ही नहीं है, हमारे साथ भी नहीं, किसी के साथ भी. If you do it with somebody else also and we read about it in the newspaper, we are going to hate it and we are going to react negatively to it and we are going to not buy your product. So that is how stakeholders are affected. For example, SG Altair's biggest stakeholder or biggest shareholder only invests in ethical companies. This stakeholder has high power and interest and will strongly influence strategy formulation to ensure that this is consistent with its own principles and objectives. Ultimately, the pension fund itself, pension fund is its biggest stakeholder, right? Itself, all of its shares, which may reduce SG Altair's performance by making it harder to raise finance. The creation of long-term sustainable economic competitive advantage is consistent with SG Altair main objective. And what is the main objective? Which is to maximize the long-term wealth of its shareholders. Okay. Then, apart from the business and economic consequences of the investment, in KLAN, ethical issues need to be considered. Although KLAN environmental regulations allow the discharge of diluted WPA, that is waste product A, into rivers, it would clearly be unethical to take action which could harm human health in the long term. Significantly, the discharge of waste product A into rivers is not permitted in which country? J-land. It's not permitted in J-land. The use of scarce river. First of all, the river is already scarce. That means it's limited in K-land. So the use of scarce river water to dilute WPA, that is waste product A, in order to conform to K-land's limited environmental regulations is also an ethical issue. Using scarce water in such a way may cause harm to the local population, because it causes harm to local people. Local population and their livestock. The board has not yet estimated the cost of cleaning up the proposed site at K-land once the production ceases. This could be a deliberate strategy, as the board could think this is unnecessary due to the less strict environment regulations there. Environmental regulations there, leaving the site contaminated with harmful chemicals after decommissioning. The plant could affect the company's reputation in the long term. And is unethical. Conversely, the board does have a duty to develop strategies which benefit internal stakeholders such as shareholders and employees. For example, incurring costs to find safe ways of disposing waste product A. You need to do that, right? Which could eventually turn out to be harmless and could reduce long-term shareholder wealth. Also, while many employees may want to work for a business with ethical strategies, the financial costs of these may reduce their job security by making the business less profitable. This is strategy formulation. The next is business performance. Poor ethical behavior can have big impact on SGRT's reputation. Right, because if we read something in the newspaper also, we don't like to buy that product. leading to customers boycotting its products and a reduction in financial performance. The proposed project in K-land is Gibraltar's reputation could be damaged in the short term if it were found to be paying local workers unacceptably low wages. Just because the country is poor, that is why you're literally doing it for unacceptably low wages. In many countries they have a minimum wage rate. So ये minimum wage rate के ऊपर ही आपको पैसा देना है, उससे कम आप नहीं दे सकते. That's the minimum that you can give. Okay, so that is not acceptable by people at all and the society at large. ये आप कर ही नहीं सकते. A strategic decision to discharge WPA waste product A into reverse or not clean up the site could increase the interest of environmental campaigners who may join forces with other stakeholders or with other stakeholder groups such as consumers and the government in order to increase their power. This will increase any possible damage to Gibraltar reputation, right? Managing these groups will incur cost and management time and possibly risk fines and penalties for poor environmental performance. These costs could, in the long term, exceed of disposing of waste product A in an environmentally safe manner. The use of water, which is a scarce resource, that is, it's limited, could also increase the interest of environmental campaigns. Poor ethical behavior will also reduce long-term financial performance because people will not want to buy from you. If people were to become ill, as a result of contact with WPA, as well as the impact on reputation. There could be fines and lawsuits, the value of which is hard to quantify. Formulating an alternate strategy for the safe disposal of waste product A may therefore be beneficial to long-term performance even if there were a short-term cost to this. Behaving ethically can have positive effect on business performance. For example, by creating brand loyalty. So this brand doesn't do anything ethically wrong. Okay. This already appears to be the case, as Giolter is a well-known trusted brand. Its household detergents and cleaning products command premium prices because they use best ingredients and processes which cause less harm to the environment than those of competitors. So if you use the best ingredients possible and all of that and charge more, people are ready to pay, but you at least do some good things to the society. The publication of the annual CSR report will communicate how ethically this jewelers behaves towards a wide range of interested stakeholders the stakeholders who value ethical behavior will react positively to ethical behavior by as jewelers. Customers may choose to buy its products or investors to buy its shares because of this. Okay. So this is the A part of the answer. Please go through it. So we did 2 points, that is the strategy formulation strategy formulation and one is business performance. Okay, so 2 points, strategy formulation and business performance. Okay, so how equally important is it to formulate a strategy and to have a good business performance, as I explained it therein? So before we proceed further to how EMA will help SG Altair, the effect of ethical issues on manufacturing decision is done. Okay, how EMA will help SG Altair, we take a break of 5 minutes. Beginning with the B part, that is how EMA will help as Giolter. Okay. Now EMA will help as Giolter in the following 4 areas, and the 4 points are given. So based on these 4 points, we have to write our answer. The first point is calculating cost. Second is investment appraisal. Third one is setting performance measures and targets, and fourth one is product driving. So based on these 4 areas, EMA is going to help us. This is the B part, and B part of the answer says how EMA will help as Giolter. How EMA will help as Giolter. EMA relates to the production, that is environmental management accounting. And analysis of financial and non-financial information to help a business identify environment related costs and manage its performance in respect of the environment. So the first point we had was what? Calculating cost. Let's write that. As Giolter is listed in JLand, it must produce an annual corporate social responsibility report which demonstrates its performance in environmental and other social and ethical matters the company will need to measure environment related costs to compile this. The sophistication of the company's information systems is unclear, but traditional information systems do not capture environment related costs. Such as costs to dispose of waste product A, which may be hidden in overheads. Okay. This was the point regarding calculating costs. It's not over yet. Environmental management accounting helps to capture these hidden costs as well as contingent costs. For example, in cleaning up contaminated sites, after production ceases. Of all environment related costs, the reputation and relationship cost which may occur for example, if discharged waste product A harms the health of large numbers of people, may be the largest cost. Then by the use of techniques such as environmental activity based costing, input output analysis, and life cycle costing, EMA can be used to develop a clearer understanding of costs, particularly environment related costs. Meaning that budgets will be more realistic. This will make them more useful for planning purpose. Managers appraised using these budgets which could include budgets specifically relating to environment, related costs would be more motivated to achieve any targets set. As Giorgio may have to invest in more sophisticated information systems in order to capture environment related costs which are currently hidden within overheads. The cost of this needs to be compared against the benefits of doing so. Okay, so this is the first point, which is calculating costs. Second point we have is investment appraisals. Write down the second point. But before you do the second point, you should actually do the investment appraisal. This is incomplete. So let's do the investment appraisal and find out the NPV. So we'll name it working 1 and we'll do the working on the Google Sheets. So we name it working note 1, which is NPV of the 2 possible proposals after including decommissioning and cleanup costs. Okay, so this is 2 companies, J-Land and K-Land, and all the figures are in dollars and millions. Okay, so first thing we have here is NPV of the project estimated by the board. Then we have decommissioning costs. Then we have cleaning costs. Then we have NPV after decommissioning and cleaning. Then we have decommissioning and cleaning. As a percentage of the estimated NPV. Okay, so first of all, NPV of the project which is estimated by the board is how much? K-lend is 240 and J-lend is 200. So K-lend is 240 and J-lend is 200. Decommissioning cost is how much? 20 and cleaning is 60. So this is 20. Cost is always negative and this is 60. And what about K-lend? Decommissioning is 30. And they have said that cleaning is 50% higher than in J-lend. So here will be 60 plus 50% higher. So 60 plus 50% of 60 is 30. That means 90. So NPV after decommissioning would be, and here also it would be 120. So now the NPV after decommissioning and cleaning has become same. Decommissioning and cleaning as a percentage of the estimated NPV. What is decommissioning and cleaning? 60 plus 20, that is 80. 80 as a percentage of NPV. What was your NPV? 200. And for K-land it is how much? How much is decommissioning and cleaning? 90 plus 30, which is 120 divided by NPV of 240. So how much is decommissioning and cleaning as a percentage of NPV? 80 divided by 200 and 200 is 40%. So it is 40%. And 120 divided by 240 and 200 is 50%. So this is 50%. Okay. So now we can write the investment appraisal part. Okay. EMA helps to ensure that all environment related costs are included in an investment appraisal. For example, the board's calculation of NPV of the proposal to manufacture chemical K in either J-lend or K-lend did not include estimates for the present values of decommissioning the plant or cleaning the sites when production ceases. If investment appraisals do not include all relevant costs such as these: business performance may decrease as Giolter may start to manufacture products that will have a low or even negative NPV, which will not generate long-term shareholder wealth. If projects were to take place in Jailand, these costs would reduce the NPV of the project by how much? In Jailand it was 40%. For that you can refer to working note 1, which is a large amount. The board has not estimated the present value of the costs to clean up the site in Jailand. As a result of logistical difficulties due to Jailand being 8,000 kilometers from Jailand, decommissioning costs would be 50% higher than in Jailand, and so for the same reason cleanup costs in Jailand might also cost 50% more. Okay. On this assumption, the NPV of both alternatives would be $120 million, because we saw it was coming the same. See, so 120 for both. The board would probably choose to manufacture in Thailand as there are lower risks by operating in the home country. If the environment related costs of decommissioning and cleanup were not taken into account, the board may have chosen to undertake the project in Thailand because the NPV of the project was $240 million minus 200, that is $40 million more than in Thailand. Okay. And what is the next point? Setting performance measures and targets. So that is the next point. And before we start this point, I will quickly check the comments and then just till then, please refer to what you can write in point number 3, which is setting performance measures and targets. Okay, setting performance measures and targets. Next. So, EMA, that is environmental management accounts, can be used to set targets for improving performance in respect of the environment For example, by reducing environment related costs, fines, or taxes. This is important as Geolter publishes an annual corporate social responsibility report, so its environmental performance is clear to a range of stakeholders, many of whom have an interest in environmental matters. Performance targets could be financial or non-financial. For example, physical quantities. If the production of chemical K were to commence in K-land, a non-financial target could be the volume of water. This is a non-financial target, okay? Because it's the volume of water taken from local river. Because it's non-financial, right? This is because you don't have to pay for water in that area when you're taking it from the river. Water is scarce resource in K-land. Water is scarce resource in K-land, and taking too much of it may have a harmful effect on the local environment. The human population and their livestock. Environmental performance measures could be internal or external. Targets could relate performance, the number of cases of ill health due to contract with waste product A is an external measure relating to long-term performance. What is the next point? Product pricing. So that is the last point. That is product pricing. Using EMA to develop a clearer understanding of costs also helps Azure in setting a price for chemical K. EMA will help Azure to understand all of the costs in the product's life cycle and what drives them. These will include environment related costs which are incurred before or after production begins. Or after it ends. Such as decommissioning or cleanup costs. As fuel tears can price the product to ensure that all of these costs are covered. This should ensure that the company can make an acceptable profit on the sale of the product over its life cycle. And can choose not to make products which are likely to make losses, right? This will improve long-term financial performance. Environment related costs occurring after production ceases may be incurred in many years' time. Predicting these costs will be difficult and may be significantly affected by inflation, changes in the cost of capital, that is COC, and the possible introduction of stricter environmental regulation in the future. By demonstrating that production of chemical K is made in such a way as to minimize harm to the environment as your debt may be able to charge a premium price to customers to whom this is important. Though the use of chemical K is unclear, many of its household products already command premium prices for this reason. Okay. So this is the answer to this question. So we finished the effect of ethical issues on manufacturing decisions and how EMA will help as Joel did. Please go through the answer and see if you have any doubts. The 4 points that they had told us to speak on were already given by us to them, already given by them to us. उन्होंने already हमको points दिए थे, तो वो point के basis पे ही हमको लिखना था. I'll quickly check the comments. Now, before we begin with the next question, that is this one, dial dawn, we take a break of 5 minutes. let's proceed with the next question. Daldon. It's a September-December 2009 amended question. Amended means 5 marks is allocated to professional and 20 marks for the question. So it becomes easier for us to solve. Reading the requirement first. Required. It is now 1 September 20x5. Respond to the request for work on the following areas. Assessment of the performance measures in relation to the stakeholder groups as required by the venture capitalist organization VC. The price of the new product and the drawbacks of the decision rule used, and the investment project to undertake and the appropriateness of the numerical techniques used. These are the numerical techniques that are used. So let's read the question first. Daldon, Exhibit 1, Company Information. Daldon is a manufacturer of heavy steel items. It is funded by a venture capitalist organization, VC. Following a period of poor performance, the VC has expressed concern that Daldon board members are focusing too much on their own interest while neglecting to adequately measure and manage company performance in respect of their stakeholder group. The company has experienced severe cash flow difficulties due to financial losses made on the sale of several new products. These have been attributed to poor pricing decisions, which were the responsibility of the board and have resulted in many employees losing their jobs. Key stakeholder groups. The VC has identified 3 key stakeholder groups at Daldon. Who are the 3 stakeholder groups? The board, employees, and government and regulators. So the board, the VC is concerned that due to the past losses made on several new products, the board has become too cautious in their attitude towards potential new projects and, in particular, the pricing of new products. Given the importance of the board to the success of Daldon, the VC has recently implemented a new bonus scheme. This is an attempt by the VC to revise the board's appetite for risk and encourage them to take more risk, for example, in deciding on the price of new products. Board members will now receive a very large annual performance-related bonus for Daldon's achievement of challenging targets set on the financial performance measures of return on capital employed ROCE. Then employees. The manufacturing process at Daldon does not require employees to have a high level of skill, and so most of the manufacturing employees are relatively low skilled. Other employees in other departments have roles which they can require specific skills and qualifications. There is a high level of unemployment in the region where Daldon is based. Government regulators. Daldon operated in a strict regulatory environment. Daldon has a good record of compliance, but recently its own scientists have discovered high concentrations of a toxic pollutant, which is a waste product from its own manufacturing processes, in the soil near to its factory. The VC has asked for your advice on whether Daldon's existing measures shown in Appendix 1 adequately measure the company's performance in managing the concerns of each of these 3 key stakeholder groups. You may justify the use of alternative measures, but the VC wants only one measure for each stakeholder group and is not about the potential difference between measures at this stage. As a part of this work, the VC expects you to briefly comment on the power and interest of the 3 stakeholder groups. So we have the 3 stakeholder groups. We have the board, employees, and government and regulators. Then pricing decision. Daldon is about to launch a new product and needs to determine an appropriate price to charge. The variable cost of each product is uncertain, and hence there are 3 possibilities for each demand level. The total contribution of the product at the 3 possible anticipated levels of demand are shown in Appendix 2. You have been asked to evaluate which price the board would choose for the new product based on the board's revised attitude to risk, and briefly comment on the drawbacks of the decision rule used. Then investment projects. Two new mutually exclusive manufacturing projects, which are totally unconnected to Daldon, have become available for the VC to invest in. That is the venture capitalist. The VC has undertaken many similar investments before and is an almost entirely risk-neutral investor. Two important exogenous, that is external variables affecting the net present value of the new project A and B are the worldwide demand for steel products and the level of tariffs applied to the import of a key material. The probabilities of these two variables are independent. The venture capitalist has estimated the probabilities of there being low, medium, or high levels of these two variables in Appendix 3 together with an estimate of the expected NPV for Project A for each level of demand and tariff and an estimate of the overall expected NPV for the Project A. An analyst has already calculated that the overall expected value of Project B is $1347 million. As a final requirement, you have been asked to advise the VC which of the two new investment projects should it undertake, including an evaluation of the appropriateness of the numerical technique used. So let's see Appendix 1. The stakeholders are board, employees and government or regulators, and the measure will be ROCE for board, training cost for employees, and no measure specified for the government. Then this is the demand, selling price, variable cost, contribution and total contribution for the new product in its anticipated 2 years life. Okay. Then this is the tariff level. This is the tariff level for expected NPV for demand level low, medium, high, and tariff level again low, medium, high. And this is the project A's overall expected NPV, which is 1347. And these are the notes. The standard deviation of the outcome for project A has been correctly calculated to be 103, and the standard deviation of the outcomes for project B has been correctly calculated to be 106. An analyst has already calculated the overall expected value of project B is 1347 million. So let's answer the A part, which says assessment of the performance measures in relation to the stakeholder group. So there are 3 stakeholder groups. So we start from there. This is the question 4. Answer A. Okay, what is the first stakeholder group? Board. Right? The board members are key players who have high level of power and interest. It is important that they understand and approve of Daldon's strategy. It is vital that they are kept motivated in order to drive Daldon's performance. The venture capitalist has recently implemented a new reward system where the board will receive a very large annual performance related bonus for the achievement of targets on ROCE, that is return on capital employed. ROCE may be an appropriate measure as it will be familiar to the board. It does have some drawbacks as a performance measure. For example, by discouraging investment in new assets. Alternative measures such as economic value added, that is EVA, may overcome some of these drawbacks. The second we have is employees. Employees have a high interest as they depend on the company for their income in an area of high unemployment. Most employees are relatively unskilled and individually have low power. As they could be easily replaced. As Daldon operates in a strict regulatory environment, employees' rights are likely to be legally protected, which may increase their power. Employees should be kept informed, prevent them from joining forces with more powerful stakeholder groups. Why? And what are the groups? Such as the regulators or trade unions. Training costs are probably not a suitable measure for the mostly low-skilled workforce, as the manufacturing process does not require a high level of skill. Measures relating to employee productivity may be more useful because, for example, higher productivity may increase the job security. Some employees' roles are more highly skilled and for them training costs will be a suitable measure of how well their skills are increased or maintained. The cost of training may not, however, indicate training is appropriate or effective. A more precise measure such as the percentage of employees achieving a particular relevant qualification or skill level may be more appropriate. And the third one is government and regulators. For government and regulators, there are currently no measures relating to the government and regulators as dialed on operates in a strict regulatory environment. This seems inappropriate as breaches in regulations could lead to fines or loss of reputation. The government and regulators have a high level of power but low interest in the company. To prevent them becoming key players, they should be kept satisfied. This could be done by introducing measures relating to environmental performance, such as the level of toxic pollutants in the soil, close to dial downs This would allow Dalron to take action to reduce the level of pollutants if these approached levels are likely to reach environmental regulations. This is regarding the government regulation. So the A part of the answer is done. We wrote about the board. So after the paper, if you have 4 to 5 minutes, do all this beautification so it looks better. The board, employees, and government and regulators. Okay. So after you have some time left with you, like 2 to 3 minutes after the end of the entire paper, do all this beautification. Now the B part. What does the B part say? The price of the new product and the drawbacks of the decision rule used. Decision rule used. So it's an Exhibit 3 pricing decisions along with Appendix 2. The board now has very large performance related bonuses. This will mean that they have a risk seeking attitude to risk in order to maximize their bonuses. The board would use the Maximax decision rule, that is they would choose the price which maximizes the maximum contribution. The price is, if you see Appendix 2, it's $95,000, which would give a maximum contribution of $55,000. The main drawback of using the Maximax decision rule is that it may encourage the board take excessive risk as opposed to their previous attitude, which was too cautious. The Maximax tool also does not take into account the probabilities of each outcome. And these probabilities are difficult to determine. Okay, so this is the B part. And then coming to the last part of the answer, which is the C part. What does C part say? The investment project to undertake the appropriateness of numerical techniques used. How appropriate are the techniques that they have used here numerically? So, the VC is an almost entirely risk neutral investor. Okay. The EV approach is appropriate as they will accept the project with the highest expected NPV. Problem with the EV approach is that it is a long run average which assumes a decision is repeated many times and is inappropriate for one-off decisions. The EV is unlikely to be the actual outcome of the project. The VC has undertaken many similar projects and hence it would be appropriate to use EV. The estimations of the probabilities COC, that is cost of capital, are subjective and could be inaccurate. This would limit the effectiveness of the EV approach. The VC is experienced in estimating these probabilities which would make the results of the calculations more reliable. The EV calculations for the two projects only consider two important exogenous variables. In practice, there are many different internal and external factors which could affect the NPV of the projects. The calculations which they have done indicate that both projects have same NPV $1,347 million as a risk neutral investor. The VC would be indifferent to which projects to undertake. The outcome of project A have a slightly lower standard deviation than those of project B. The spread of possible outcomes is therefore greater for project B, which means that it is riskier. the VC may therefore choose project A. Given that the NPV of the two projects are the same, for the work such as sensitivity analysis or an analysis of the external environment. If you all have studied SBL before this, you all will know this. That is the pestle analysis. That is political, economic, social, technological. Could be done to help the VC make their choice. Okay, so that's it about the answer. Please go through it. If you have any doubts, please let me know in the comments. This is the B part and this is the C part. So that's it with today's lecture, guys. Tomorrow we're going to start with a mock, so please be there. And thank you so much for attending the lecture, and all the best for your exams. Study well and please attend the mock. Please write at least 2 mocks before your exam. Okay, thank you so much.